Hi, this is a demonstration video on the principle of supersetting. I did a previous one where we did supersetting using opposite muscle groups. Today's demonstration is going to be using the same muscle groups for supersetting. So I've chosen to do lunges for our legs. We're going to do two different styles of lunges. Then our chest muscle, I'm doing two exercises working the chest muscle, and upper back and our triceps. So let's go. So remember, I'm going to do 8 reps of each one. I'm going to turn around so you can see the angles to get your form correct. And then in the blurb that I write at the bottom of the video, when you go onto YouTube, you will be able to get an idea of how to make it into a routine. So 8 repetitions of one exercise straight into 8 repetitions of the next exercise. Repeat all of that 3 times, have a little rest, and then move on to the next muscle group. Okay, so lunges. Then start off with the forward stepping lunge and then go straight into the static lunge. So that's how we're going to be working just the legs and fatiguing those legs in the principle of the superset. So take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and you take a nice big step forward. Drop down so your back knee goes towards the floor and then pull yourself back up again. Alternate onto the other side, so drop down and then come back up. Make sure your abs are nice and strong and your back stays nice and tall and your weight drops down through the center. Again, the front knee does not override the toes and your back knee heads straight back down towards the floor. So I'm going to do one more each side, then I'm going to turn to the side so you can have a look. So if you come from the side, drop forward, come back, so body nice and straight, front knee in line with the toes. Drop down, come back, drop it down, come back. So now we're going to stay in on the one leg in your lunge position, drop down, straight back up, come down. So now those legs are starting to get fatigued, just concentrating on the same muscle group, working the second exercise. So I'm going to do 4 more and then I'm going to switch legs. So drop down, come back, so core nice and strong. That back leg now starting to really feel that work. I think we've got 2 more. Down, come up, switch sides. So step back on the other side, drop down, come up, down, lift. So 4 left here, 4, 3, touch that knee, 2, 1, step it together. So you'd go straight back into alternating lunges, straight into your static lunge, and then repeat again, straight back into your alternating lunges, straight back into your static lunge. Right, then you'd have a little rest and move on to the next muscle groups. So I'm going to do the back muscles. I've chosen to do a bent over fly and a bent over row. So grab your dumbbells, choose whichever weight you want. I've got the 5s, you can go 2, you can go 10, you can go as much as you want. So I'm going to again turn from the side, plant your feet under your hips, press the chest forward, squeezing through those abs. So you want to lead with your elbows. Bring your elbows out to the side of you, not behind you. So squeeze those shoulder blades together as you pull those weights up, out to the side. So from the front, pull up, come in, squeeze up through those back muscles, pull up to your shoulder blades, there, and 1 more. Straight into your bent over row. So I'm going to go from the side. So pull up, drop forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Remember your abs are in nice and tight. Push back into your hips. Pull back into those upper back muscles. So I'm going to come forward so you can see from the front. 4 more. Pull up, drop down, squeeze back. Come down, so you should be feeling this in your upper back. Pull, and I'm going to do 1 more. Lift, and drop, weights down. So, reminder, straight back into your flies, 8 repetitions followed straight back into your bent over rows. Again, straight into your flies, straight into your bent over rows, and then you'd have a break and then move on to the next muscle groups. So we're going to work the chest now. I'm going to do your chest press in front, followed by your push-ups on the floor. So pick up your weights again. Feet are slightly wider than hips, soften in the knees, squeeze them through those glutes, pull those weights up. So you want to have your elbows in line with your shoulders, squeeze those dumbbells together, come back out to the side, squeeze in. So you're squeezing into those chest muscles. So again, I turn to the side, try not to let your elbows start dropping, pull in. Make sure you're working in through those chest muscles. 2 more. Last one. And release. Weights down. Straight into your push-ups. You can do them on the wall, on your knees, or on your toes. I'm going on my toes. Hands are wider than the shoulders. Drop down to the floor. Press up. So keep those abs nice and straight. Sorry, your back nice and straight. Your abs nice and tight. So the last 4, I'm going to show you if you needed to go on your knees, you just drop your knees down, press down, come up, nose before belly. 2 more. Elbows nice and wide. And lift. Come on up. So repeat, straight into your chest press, straight into your push-ups. Again, chest press into your push-ups. Then you'd have a rest before you move on to your next muscle groups. So the last group I'm going to do are our triceps. So I'm going to do a tricep kickback, followed by an overhead extension. So grab your weights again. Let's go from the side first. So soften those knees, feet are wider than your hips. Pull in through the belly button. Get your elbows up nice and high as you can, and extend those arms all the way out straight behind you. Come back in. Make sure you're squeezing into your tricep muscles and not swinging through your shoulder or your elbows. Press out, come in. So if I come to the front, squeeze out. So it is very different to your bent over rows. This, you're extending that arm straight back behind you, whereas the bent over row, you were bending up through those elbows. You do one last one, and release. So take only one dumbbell, take the arms over the head, so you want to keep those elbows close to your head, drop the weight behind your shoulders, and then extend all the way to the ceiling. Drop back down. Try not to let your elbows move away from your head, otherwise then you start asking the shoulders to do all the work and not concentrating just in your triceps. So I'm going to turn to the side now. Make sure your feet are wider than the hips. You're squeezing in through your abdominals, making sure your base is nice and strong. Just getting those triceps to work up. Release, lift, release, and do one more. And release down. So, back into your extensions, kickbacks, into your overhead presses. Repeat again, extensions into your overhead presses, and then you'd have a rest. So that's the idea of your supersetting, targeting the same muscle groups in 2 exercises, repeating it in a circuit type. Enjoy.